Morning, Mark from the Lawnologist, here for another renovation on a 900 square metre lawn in Colchester. Really beautiful setting. You might be thinking, why, look at that, why is the Lawnologist renovating a lawn that looks like this? Well, don't be deceived. This lawn suffered huge chafer grub damage earlier in the year. There was crows and corvids coming down, pecking chafer grubs out. There was badgers sneaking into the garden and ripping lumps of turf out. So what we did is we went through a bit of a damage limitation process where we just managed to get the grass in reasonably good shape for the summer, so this family could enjoy their lawn for summer, and now we're here to renovate it. It is a big space and it is quite healthy already, which is a good sign. However, there is quite a bit of subsurface thatch. That means we need to get rid of that. And the reason we need to get rid of that is because it'll make the grass even healthier, but it's less hospitable then for chafer grubs. Now they have been treated with a new product called Acyloprin earlier in July, just before they finished their peak flight period. That's a professional insecticide that only professionals can use. And there's no sign of chafer grubs now, which is good, but it is still a little bit early. But what we're going to do, we'll stick you on time lapse. Simon and I, who's my wingman, is going to we're going to work on a contraflow system today, and we're going to try and do a few overhead shots as well. So it's a new thing for us, but have a look, see what you think, and we're going to crack on. Catch you in a bit. So guys, bit of a morning really. There's more thatch on that lawn than there is in a medieval basket weaver's shop. We've actually had to stop mowing it and scarify it early just to thin it out to get the mower to cope with it. We've started on setting 5, it's been chewing things up, and the reason is because there's so much lateral growth. Basically, it means that the blades cannot cut efficiently. We've gone in different directions, but we've actually now got to scarify the lawn to get the grass to stand up so we can skim it properly and get an even cut, so we can then start scarifying properly to get the thatch and subsurface thatch out. At the moment, we've done one pass, and I'm going to spin the camera around. You'll see that Simon is using Barry to blow away the debris so we can tidy that up. It's quite a bit coming out already. And a bit of bad news, we've lost Wendy. It appears Wendy has popped her clogs on us. She won't start, there's no compression. I had a good year with Wendy, very fond of her. She served me well, but alas, she is gone. Anyway, we've got William, which is a bigger brother, and I'm probably going to get another Wendy later, so that is one good thing. But just the day in the life of having a small business, things go wrong very, very quickly, and plans can change very, very quickly. So I'll spin the camera around and show you what Simon's doing, then I'll pop you back on time lapse, and which will continue to make good progress, hopefully without anything else blowing up. And here we see our lesser spotted Simon peering from behind a tree in his natural habitat. At the moment he's shy, but very shortly he shall appear, blowing debris out of his way. There he is. Simon and Barry doing their thing. nothing has gone to plan. This lawn is giving us a few more problems. Not only is it blowing up my my Weebang lawnmower, we're having to scarify this over and over again to just try and get back down to soil level. It's so thick and so dense and so thatchy that what we're finding is the mowers wheels are sinking as we're trying to cut, which means it's just jamming everything up. So we are running a little bit behind schedule today, and it just goes to show that even when the lawn looks healthy on top, actually below there's a few problems, and it's causing us issues today. Nevertheless, I want to get back on time lapse again, and we're going to crack on, carry on mowing, and hopefully we'll then be able to get down and scarify properly to really get some of that subsurface thatch out. And maybe today we'll start aerating, but at the moment we're about an hour behind. Hi guys, so I just want to talk to you about why this is taking so long to scarify. I'm not going to keep putting you on a time lapse to watch me do multiple passes. You've kind of got the idea of what we're doing now, so I'm going to skip a few passes. It's going to get a bit monotonous, but I want to show you why this is taking us so long. So this is a lawn that is well established and very old. I don't think it's ever been scarified, and certainly not properly. So we've been over this now 4 times with the mower. I still can't get below setting 4, and we're scarified it 2 times now. And look, I've still got up to 6 inches of growth in this, and it's all lateral growth. So the more I scarify, the more we blow it, the more it stands up, the more we have to cut it. So we really are running quite behind, simply because of how this lawn hasn't been maintained well in the past, and certainly before I get hold of it. Now I do know, and I don't know whether this is a contributing factor or not, but I do know that prior to the client here using the Lawnologist, which is my business, they had used another business that was using mostly artificial and synthetic products. Now, what I seem to be finding is that these products cause excessive growth on top and don't do much for the bottom, for the root zone. And I'm kind of seeing this here. We've got a lot of thatch, a lot of excessive growth on top, and not a lot in terms of kind of root density and root resilience. Whether or not that's a contributing factor, I don't know, and I'm certainly not pointing any fingers, but I can't help but think it maybe does something, because with the organic feeds, we're certainly feeding the soil biology, and we're feeding the soil as much as we are the sward, and that makes a huge difference. So I'm not going to time lapse you anymore for a while. I'm just going to give the phone a rest, and then I'm going to crack on. But rest assured, I'll update you very shortly with how many passes I've actually done, and I'll give you a picture of the pile of thatch that was slowly accumulating in a huge hole over there. But I think you'll be surprised. It just goes to show that even though a lawn can look really well on the face of it, on top really green and stripy, once you get below that, quite often you find a few issues you didn't realise were there. So I'm going to switch off now for a bit and carry on. Adios. Alright guys, so we're day 2 on the 900 square metre renovation, and we are running quite behind actually, and the reason being is because it was a lawn that kept on giving. It was so full of matted thatch and lateral growth that it actually blew up Wendy, my mower, and it took us far longer than what we thought it was going to be. So we'd allowed 2 men 2 days for this job, and we're going to have to really get a wiggle on today, because if I can't get that top dressing down with the machine before it rains, and it's due to rain at around 3 o'clock, we're going to be in a right muddle, because it's going to be a nightmare hand spreading top dressing on a lawn of that size with that many undulations. So I thought I'd just give you a quick update whilst I'm stuck in traffic making my way to the property. And don't worry, I'm hands-free, don't worry. But yeah, it just goes to show that things aren't going to plan, and whilst there's actually not a great deal of subsurface thatch on this lawn, it was, again, that obscene growth, that lateral growth, lack of scarification. If anything, it shows that it's really important to maintain your lawn yearly with an aeration, with scarification, because aeration will allow better oxygen flow, allow for better breakdown of thatch, and scarification will pull that crap out. So that's kind of a good example as to why it's important to work with your soil, to aerate, to scarify annually if you can afford it, and if you're able to do it yourself, or get someone like myself to do it for you. But it really will bring a lawn into good health and keep a premium lawn in a premium state. So I'm going to sign off this now. I'm going to jump straight onto a time lapse as soon as I get on site. I think Simon's already there. He's already started up with some of the machinery. I'm running a bit late because I had to go and get some fuel and make a few phone calls to other clients, but The long and short of it is, we're going to have to get a wiggle on today. Yesterday was literally mow, scarify, mow, scarify, mow, scarify. Today, I'm hoping to be able to one mow, one pass the scarify, get the aerator down, get some seed down, top dress and finish. And then we'll just finish the whole job with a good dose of wetting agent just to reduce the surface tension and allow better water absorption, and also a good dose of seaweed with trace elements, just to safeguard the grass we've left behind and to kind of encourage a better environment for the new seed to germinate in. So stand by, I'm going to crack on, just about to go on site, and the rest that will follow will be on a time lapse. Adios. So you can probably see the rain has started earlier than we expected. It was meant to be coming at about 1:30, it's 9:30. Drenched already, but we carry on. It's probably the perfect example of what it's like to be in the lawn care business. It's actually quite unpredictable. It's not all sunshine and seed. We've had on this renovation a mower blow up, we've been stuck in traffic, we've had more thatch than we expected, and now we've got weather. And the problem is with rain, that slows everything up because it makes everything harder to rake, puts more stress on the machinery, and everything goes slower. So we're already behind, and now we're going to be even further behind. So for those of you that are thinking about coming into the lawn care industry, it is not all sunshine and seed. We do have pretty tough days as well. Simon's pretty damp over there. I'm pretty damp, but we need to get wiggle on. So I'll catch you later. So that is the main body of the lawn, the 700 square metre part. That has been cut several times now. We've got rid of that lateral growth. It's been scarified heavily. We've taken more thatch out of this than a cuckoo's nest. And in the background you can hear Simon just over there, the lesser spotted Simon in his natural habitat, continuing to renovate the second part of the lawn, which is another 200 square metres. There he is, thriving in his environment. So the next plan for us is to get Bertha, which is there, and we're going to aerate. There's thousands of holes. I'm going to go fracture tines and in a herringbone fashion to get as many deep holes into this as I can. I don't think this lawn has ever been aerated, so I want to go deep. I want to fracture that subsoil. I want to get oxygen and water exchange going again, and I want to be feeding the microbiome underneath to feed the lawn and the grass from underneath as well. And that's the whole purpose of aeration. Also, it creates a perfect seed bed for the seed to sit. The soil is still warm after summer. The seed will sit in those holes, we'll top dress it, and that'll be like lovely little pockets of warmness for them to germinate and flourish, providing to get the appropriate hydration. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly walk over here and just show you the amount of thatch we've taken out of this body of lawn. You can see it's quite a vast expanse, real vast expanse. Lots of bent grass in this, and I think that was what was causing the lateral growth. But you see now we've got through that, we've got down to the topsoil here, which is now going to make a perfect environment for the seed. And we've only done a small part of this lawn. There's a vast expanse at the back that we're not touching this season. But let's just see what Simon's doing in his natural habitat with his best mate Barry again, Barry the blower. Simon's now hiding behind the tree. He soon appears, emerging. Mother Nature is a wonderful thing. And there is the lesser spotted Simon. This time wearing yellow gloves rather than black ones. So this is the second part of the lawn. This is just a mere 200 square metres. Main body 700 square metres. That is 900 square metres in total, obviously. Now, this is the thatch pile that we have pulled out. Now, to give you an idea, this was a very old deep pond. The client has said just fill it with the debris because they're going to turn this into an orchard. But look at that. I would say it's about 6 foot deep. And I would say we've more or less half filled that. To give you an idea, even though that lawn looked really healthy when we first began yesterday, the amount of debris and crap and thatch that has come out has been nothing short of surprising. So we'll crack on, stick you back on time lapse. I'm going to aerate. Then we shall deploy Brian loaded with top dressing, and we shall be top dressing only after we've seeded with a top quality seed. So, aeration completed. We've gone in a herringbone fashion, almost like a crisscross, to really get to work underneath the soil, to really get the microbiome working again. I'm now ready to seed, and then eventually it'll be deploying brine, filling him up with top dressing, and dressing and dragging in with our homemade feature on the back of brine that is fundamentally a brush and a drag mat. So yeah, Simon is still going in the background there, finishing off the prep work on the smaller 200 square metre lawn. But luckily, we've gained time. It stopped raining. It's not looking that promising though, so I need to get a wiggle on. But I think we're back on track. Happy days. So we're now at a stage where we're able to top dress. We've just seeded, as you've seen, sown the seeds of love. Here's Brian, he's our mechanical top dresser. Brian's Canadian, he's part of a Bannerman clan. And what Simon's doing now is he's dumping strategically bags of our field compost organic top dressing for us to keep topping up as we go on the lawn. Brian's an absolute game changer. Speeds up the process so much and really was a worthy investment for my business. So I'll stick you back on time lapse again, and you can watch the top dress at high speed. So it's a renovation complete. We've finished. It's 20 past 3. I allocated 2 days to do this job up until 5 o'clock. So we've actually turned it around and got ahead of the time. So all that's left now is to spray the lawn with some seaweed and some trace elements, and some biostimulants along with a wetting agent, just to kickstart the growth in the existing grass and to also help with the germination. And then pray that the lawn gods have mercy on this lawn and the lawn comes back, which I'm sure it will. All the client needs to do now is just water it regularly, consistently, keep that seed consistently moist, because once it's moist, it swells, it germinates, it grows, and that's the part of the deal really. We do all the hard work, they just have to water it. So thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you another time. Adios.